Welcome everyone to the Terrain Studio. I'm your host, Shawn Morris. On this edition of the Terrain Studio, I thought I would introduce kind of a new segment. It's something I thought where I could just, sit down and record, be a little more casual with the conversation, and you guys can either, watch and listen or just listen as I kind of just, chat about various things going on, things, game related or upcoming things in, the world of hobbying or just kind of what I'm working on. So as I'm chatting, I'm not sure how long I'll make the segments. They could be 10, 15, 30, 40 minutes. Just as I'm working, I'm just going to record my thoughts and I'll post them up, and it's your choice if you want to listen, and maybe it'll incite some conversation in the comments below. So first I'll start off on what I'm working on. I'm just working on making some more tiles for the upcoming steampunk project. I have some custom tiles coming in. They're going to be various heights and dimensions, and you guys will get to see those when they come in. But I do need about 8 to 10 of the generic 33 mil tiles, so I'm just kind of in the process of doing those up right now. I didn't really work on anything this week. I just had a lot of unboxings and kind of product reviews, so that's what's going on here. Other than that, in the hobby world, I'm just, like I said, waiting on a couple things to come in for this project before I can start, doing the initial stages. The tiles being the main thing, just because until they come in, I won't have anything to sort of lay out or mock up the tiles on. So that's first and foremost. I'm hoping that they'll be here by mid to late week. I know they were just in Calgary, so they're just the next province over at this point. And once they get here, it'll be full steam ahead for a few days. But I am actually going to be out of town for teaching convention, and that's going to be a whole week. So just when things finally get here and I can start, I have to go away a week. So such is life sometimes, but hopefully I can get started as soon as I get back. And I predict that as soon as I get back and start working, the updates and the progress reports will be very forthcoming, very fast, as I really start to knock out the project. And I have a deadline on the project. So working with a deadline means that I want to be way out in front of the deadline as best I can, as best as allows. So I will be working as quickly as I can on the project, and I think I'll find that some stages are going to go fairly quickly, like a lot of progress will be achieved in a short amount of time, and then other things will be very tedious and take many hours with very little reward in terms of progress. But I think in the end the project will come together nicely, will look great, and well, that's what I'm hoping for. And hopefully it'll kind of open up some new avenues in terms of builds for me. But like I said, I do have a project for Flames of War right after, which I'm quite excited about. And if you guys have been following the videos this month, you will know what I'm talking about. Talking about the foy table, the winter table. Very excited about that. And I do have all the parts for that, so if I knock this table out a little ahead of schedule, then certainly I'll be able to jump right into that table and start getting that done. So there will be no lull in the Terrain Studio. There will be a lot going on. I guess I should talk a little bit about some questions and some comments I've got through the week. Some of the comments have been asking about projects. Do I ship overseas? Things like that. I do. I don't shy away from shipping anywhere. I have stuff in Sweden, China, and East and West Coast of the United States, Canada, of course, Australia, stuff all over. Not much in South America, but maybe perhaps in the future. But in terms of shipping, they'll ship anywheres in the world. It doesn't really matter the project size or anything like that. It comes down to a case of the shipping costs. So although I don't make any off shipping, I certainly don't want to lose any on shipping either. So when thinking about a project or when inquiring, it's very difficult for me to tell you an exact price with factoring in shipping, just because the sheer size, the amount of boxes, things like that, that all factors into the shipping costs. I'm not here to make money off shipping, of course, but it's something to certainly factor into a budget, and that goes with anything that you're buying, anywheres, I suppose, anywhere. So to answer the question, yes, I ship to the UK, and that goes for anywhere. Just take into account your shipping when you're, and I can work with you to make a guesstimation or an estimation on the number of boxes and the potential size and things like that. But just the elevation level of a project can change the number of boxes. The rough approximation I make is usually 5 to 6 tiles per box. This is 12 by 12 boxes, so with that in mind, the tile being a little more than about 1.5 inches, 6 tiles, you're talking 9 to 10 inches, and then that's just tile height. That's not accounting for any of the landscaping on top or hills or things like that. So all that factors in. So shipping's a kind of a fine science in terms of packing and things like that. It doesn't really add a lot of weight, but weight can sometimes play a crucial role as well, just because postal services operate on thresholds. So once you cross a particular threshold, you cross into another classification in terms of costs and things like that. So there is something to be said for estimating shipping costs, and they're not always perfect estimations, and even the online calculators sometimes don't give you the precise dollar value, but they're pretty close, and you can usually use them to help you out figure out the costs. So what else is going on in terms of comments and things like that? Lots of great comments about people enjoying the reviews and things like that, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Quite a few subscribers over the last week here. I see YouTube closed out a bunch of accounts, so my subscriber number dropped by like 40 in like one day. So and that was right after I started releasing videos, so I don't know if I didn't initially know if I somehow offended a massive crowd of subscribers, but it turns out that was just YouTube closing out accounts. Must have just simultaneously landed on the day that I decided to get back on YouTube and start pumping out the videos. So I really actually enjoy doing the videos every day, so hopefully you guys enjoy them as well. Alright, that's another one down. In terms of Flames of War, lots of reviews have been up this week, and they will continue to come. I'm going to do a review on the church. It's a little overdue, but and I'm sure you guys have seen other reviews, but I'll do my own, give my own little spin on the reviews, on the church rather, and after that I'm going to do one on the train station, and I don't know what else I should pull out, but I'm sure I can find some more things to do. I don't know if I'm going to be getting much of the winter terrain sets, just because a lot of them are just modified versions of the pre-existing stuff, like the frozen ponds or the ponds just with a different color scheme, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to pick those up or not. But in terms of other items coming out, I have hopefully a new army or 3 arriving. I will certainly have my US army here following my week out, so look for that about mid-October when I get back. And After that, I have a new project just going into the painters. I'm just waiting for the painter to contact me, and that's going to be the Conf Group Piper army. I'm going to, I think, paint up, or have painted up, all of the units in Devil's Charge. So I think I'm going to get every German unit in the book, and just to maximize the versatility and give me some options for playing out of that book. That's been one of my favorite books put out recently by Battlefront. So I mean, there's lots of good books, but that one in particular had struck a chord with me. So I do enjoy the paint schemes in that, the whole history around the battle, and the Conf Group itself is of particular interest to me. And I think in conjunction with the U.S. Army that I'm getting, I think it's only fitting that I get a counter force to that. So Conf Group Piper is going to come out. It's more of an elite army. It's very, I don't know if I would call it tournament worthy, just because the King Tigers tend to be kind of all your eggs in one basket type of force, but it's going to be fun to play nonetheless. And on that note about tournaments, I have, with my teacher conference that I'm going to, I also have a tournament the weekend prior. So I'm going to fly out a couple days early for the convention and go to a tournament on the 6th. It's 1780 points, late war. So right up my alley. And at this point, I have no idea what I'm going to play. So maybe, as I'm working here, I will talk a little bit about my potential lists and what you guys think I should play. So, of course, I always play Panzerlehr, and I've been playing them for a long time, ever since Earth and Steel came out. So perhaps I should do something different. Not play them, although they're super fun to play. But I think people are getting tired of seeing them at the tournament, speaking on behalf of my group. So I think I need to challenge myself to play something new. Now, I could potentially play my US tank destroyer list, and that's sort of at the top of my list right now in terms of armies I'd like to try out. I haven't played them yet. I haven't even picked them up or seen them. So there's I have that going for me in terms of them being new and exciting. But a lot of people complain about the list. It's it's especially if you play against somebody new and they don't really know the ins and outs of the list, and they don't know that your tank destroyers basically just get to pop up where your recon sections are, and even if your recon sections are destroyed, the tank destroyers can still pop up on the table, and it's one of those lists that I can really see you can aggravate perhaps somebody new, because it does have some tricks and some gimmicks kind of to the list. So I try not to play those kind of lists at local events, just because sometimes I'll play people I've never played before, and it's not really, it's not on the national level. It's not for any big prize money, and I'd rather people have a good time and not be, aggravated, or, I don't want somebody to go away and be like, oh man, that's such a cheesy list, and well, of course he beat me because I didn't know this could happen, I didn't know that could happen. And that's just kind of how I am when I play. I don't want anybody to have a bad game. Now, if it's bigger tournament or a lot of points in terms of rankings, or if it's got a lot riding on it, then that stuff I don't really concern myself with, because I'm there to compete just like everybody else. But this event here is very low key for me, just a fun event. I've played with these guys a lot over the last few years. I've won quite a few of the tournaments. I think like 8 or 9 of the tournaments I've been in, I think. So I got really nothing to prove. So that being said, I thought maybe, trying something new, trying something fun might be in order. I thought about maybe running a list similar to the Piper list. Maybe not exact because I don't have all the units from Devil's Charge, but certainly the core of the King Tigers and things like that. But again, I have apprehension because somebody seeing King Tigers for the first time could potentially be frustrating when you have absolutely nothing on your force or in your army that can hurt the King Tigers, and that sometimes comes across, and somebody can equally have a bad time because they really can't do anything about it and frustrates them. So and perhaps I'm overthinking and trying to be too nice in the tournaments, but I don't have the advantage of having friendly games with people and having tune-up games and having given them the opportunity to play against a list. So when I show up, it's a surprise. It's nobody really knows what I'm going to take, and that works to an advantage and a disadvantage because I also don't get to play against the people and see what kind of list they're playing, and I don't have a local gaming group per se, and so sometimes showing up and playing something